When Jeff and Diana stumbled upon a mansion listed for just $10, they thought they had struck gold. The deal seemed too good to be true. A dream comes true for the young couple looking to start a new chapter in their lives. Eagerly they purchased the property, envisioning a future filled with luxury and comfort. However, a week after moving in, they uncovered the real reason behind the mansion's shockingly low price, and their initial excitement turned to dismay. Jeff and Diana could still barely believe that they had really bought this amazing-looking house for only $10, even as they were moving their stuff into the place. The contracts had been signed, the money had been paid, and everything had already been put into their name. There was no way the seller could get out of it now, but that would have been the last thing the seller wanted to do anyway. Jeff and Diana honestly did not even know that much about the property they had acquired. They did not even know that much about the small town which they were moving to. From the moment they saw the $10 price tag on a random ad that had popped up in Jeff's feed, everything had gone so fast. They did not want to lose this golden opportunity. But now that everything had settled, they could finally take a breath and really take in what they had done. And the more they thought about it, the happier they were with their purchase. They still had a lot of questions about why the price was so incredibly low, but they had no idea how they were going to get the answers they were looking for. They had, of course, asked the real estate agent why the house was up for sale for only $10. It would most likely not even be close to covering the man's fee. Whoever was selling this house had to be making an incredible loss. They were hoping for answers, but the real estate agent did not have any for them. All he could tell them was that there were no other hidden costs, but he was not allowed to disclose more. Of course, this secrecy had caused a little bit of hesitation with Jeff and Diana, but not enough to deter them from buying the house. The agent told them that they were the first people to react to the ad, only 20 minutes after it came, and the couple were not going to let other people steal their deal away. And so they quickly signed on the dotted line. Jeff and Diana stepped into their new mansion, eyes wide with amazement. The grand foyer unfolded before them, each step echoing on the marble floor. They wandered through room after room, envisioning their future together in this sprawling estate. The sense of potential was overwhelming, every corner promising a new memory to be made. The kitchen and dining area were next, spaces where they could already smell the scents of home-cooked meals and hear the chatter of gatherings. The large, welcoming kitchen hinted at future family dinners, while the elegant dining room awaited celebrations. It was easy to picture friends and family filling these spaces with warmth and laughter. Outside, the garden awaited them, a verdant oasis of tranquility. Wandering its paths, they felt a deep peace, as if the hustle of the world couldn't penetrate this green haven. Flowers bloomed in a riot of colors, and the gentle murmur of a fountain sang a welcome. This was a place for quiet mornings and reflective evenings. As they explored further, the mansion seemed to whisper of its past joys and future promises. Each room seemed to hold the echo of laughter, waiting to be filled again with the joy of living. Jeff and Diana shared a look of quiet understanding. This was more than a house. It was a home waiting to embrace their lives together. On their first night under the vast starlit sky, Jeff and Diana felt an indescribable connection to their new home. Lying together, they watched the stars through the large bedroom windows, the universe itself seeming to affirm their choice. At this moment, any doubts were washed away by a tide of belonging. They were exactly where they were meant to be. Jeff and Diana's efforts to connect with their new neighbors were met with polite nods and closed doors. The friendly waves they offered were returned, but no one seemed interested in getting closer. This reaction sparked their curiosity further. Was it the mansion's imposing presence? Or was there something more to the neighborhood's reticence? An elderly neighbor, pausing in her gardening, hinted at the mansion's secretive past. "That house has seen more than any of us," she murmured, her eyes reflecting a mix of fear and fascination. This cryptic comment intrigued Jeff and Diana, fueling their desire to uncover the stories hidden behind their home's grand facade. Motivated by the elder's tale, Jeff and Diana began their quest to peel back the layers of the mansion's history. They scoured the internet, dug through local archives, and even sought out longtime residents for any scrap of information. Yet, every avenue they explored seemed to lead to dead ends, as if the mansion's past was deliberately obscured. Their initial searches for any historical records or noteworthy events connected to the mansion yielded frustratingly little. It was as if a veil of silence had been cast over the mansion's past. This lack of information only deepened the mystery, making the couple more determined to uncover the truth. They refused to let the silence win. Undeterred by the scant information, Jeff and Diana planned their next steps with renewed vigor. They decided to extend their research beyond digital archives and local tales, contemplating visits to regional historical societies and engaging with experts in local lore. The mystery of their new home had become a puzzle they were intent on solving, no matter what secrets lay hidden. Jeff and Diana's online quests for the mansion's history hit wall after wall. Search engines, historical property databases, and even obscure forums turned up nothing but generic information, no specifics about their home. This digital silence added layers to the mystery, compelling them to look beyond the internet for answers. A visit to the local library seemed promising, yet yielded little more than general history, and no mention of their mansion. The librarian's curious glances and hesitant, "I can't help," only fueled their determination. It was clear the mansion's past was either incredibly well kept or purposefully erased. Attempts to coax stories from locals about the mansion's past led nowhere. Each conversation felt like speaking with shadows. Their words are careful, faces blank. This reticence from the community only served to thicken the fog of mystery surrounding their home, leaving Jeff and Diana more puzzled than ever. Despite the lack of concrete information, Jeff and Diana began to piece together the mansion's story from rumors and whispers. A scandal here, a hushed-up event there, yet no solid narrative could be formed. The fragments of stories were intriguing but maddeningly incomplete. Frustration mounted as every lead they followed ended in a dead end. The mansion's past seemed almost deliberately obscured, a book with its pages torn out. This realization only hardened their resolve to uncover the truth, no matter how deep they had to dig into the mansion's unwritten history. During a weekend of decorating, Jeff brushed against a wall panel in the library, revealing a hidden door. Surprised, they examined it closer, finding a latch that swung the panel open to reveal a dark, descending staircase. The discovery of this concealed entrance to an unknown part of their mansion filled them with a mix of excitement and unease. With a deep breath, Jeff and Diana decided to explore the hidden basement. Flashlights in hand, they descended the creaking steps, unsure of what lay ahead. The air grew cooler as they went further down, the silence of the hidden space enveloping them. Each step took them deeper into the unknown parts of their home. The basement was vast, more than just a storage space. It held the air of secrets long kept, with dust-covered furniture and boxes that hinted at a past unseen. The dim light from their flashlights revealed little by little the hidden depths of their mansion, suggesting stories waiting to be uncovered in the shadows. As they explored further, Jeff and Diana discovered a series of secret compartments and passageways branching off from the main basement area. Each hidden door they opened revealed more labyrinthine passages and intricate networks that hinted at careful planning and secrets. The mansion's foundation seemed riddled with mysteries, each turn and nook a question mark in the dark. In a small, secluded room, they found a sealed envelope, its contents a single sheet of paper with a number written on it. This number, cryptic and isolated, offered the first tangible clue to the mansion's secretive past. Holding it, Jeff and Diana felt the weight of a story beginning to unfold, a narrative hidden within the mansion's walls. Holding the sealed envelope, Jeff and Diana could only guess the significance of the solitary number within. Was it a code, an account, or something more personal? The mystery deepened their curiosity, each possibility leading to more questions than answers. The envelope, silent in its secrecy, held a story they were determined to uncover. Further exploration of the basement's hidden compartments unearthed more enigmatic artifacts. Old photographs with faces turned away, letters in languages they couldn't decipher, and objects whose purposes were lost to time. Each discovery added layers to the mansion's mystery, suggesting a past rich with stories yet to be told. As they delved deeper, Jeff and Diana felt the mansion revealing its secrets, one whisper at a time. The eerie silence of the basement seemed to speak, its echoes a guide through the labyrinth of the past. With each step, the mystery of their home deepened, wrapping them in a narrative centuries in the making. Amidst the cryptic discoveries, Jeff and Diana began to link the mysterious findings to the house's enigmatic past. The sealed envelope's number, the hidden compartments, the peculiar artifacts, all seemed to be pieces of a larger puzzle. The more they uncovered, the more they realized the mansion's history was not just forgotten, but deliberately obscured. Each discovery in the basement hinted at a larger story yet to be fully uncovered. The mansion, with its hidden doors and secret compartments, held a history waiting to be pieced together. Jeff and Diana knew they were just at the beginning of unraveling the true narrative of their home, a journey that promised to challenge their understanding of its past. With a deep breath, Jeff dialed the mysterious number, his finger hesitating before finally pressing call. The dial tone seemed to echo ominously before being interrupted by a click on the other end. "Hello?" The uncertainty of what or who awaited their questions hung heavily in the air, marking the beginning of a journey into the mansion's veiled history. The voice that greeted them was wary, tinged with surprise. "This is Mike," the voice said, a pause following the introduction, as if the name itself carried weight. Mike's reaction upon hearing about the mansion suggested a complex and possibly dark backstory. His cautious tone implied that the mansion's secrets were perhaps better left undiscovered. Mike's tone over the phone was laced with fear, each word careful, as if afraid of being overheard. "You need to be careful," he warned, suggesting that the mansion and its history were entwined with secrets dangerous enough to warrant such caution. His vague admonitions hinted at layers of darkness tied to the property, deepening the intrigue and unease for Jeff and Diana. A meeting was set, the promise of answers enough to cut through the apprehension that had settled over Jeff and Diana. They agreed to meet Mike outside town, the location itself suggesting the need for discretion. This arrangement stirred a mix of excitement and anxiety, as the couple realized they were stepping closer to unveiling the truth behind their home's mysterious past. The night before their meeting with Mike, Jeff, and Diana found themselves caught between excitement and dread. The prospect of finally learning the mansion's secrets filled them with anticipation, yet the fear of what those secrets might be tempered their eagerness. They lay awake, the mansion's silent halls magnifying their apprehension, wondering what revelations the morning would bring. On the morning of the meeting, Jeff and Diana prepared with a sense of purpose. They checked the time, gathered their notes, and dressed, as if for a significant occasion. Hope for answers about their mansion's enigmatic past outweighed their nervousness. They left, feeling the weight of potential revelations that could change their understanding of their home forever. The drive to the meeting spot outside town was quiet, filled with anticipation. The landscape blurred past as they went, each mile bringing them closer to the truth. The air was thick with unspoken questions and what-ifs, as Jeff and Diana shared anxious glances, wondering about the stories Mike would reveal. Mike's arrival was marked by a sense of foreboding. His cautious approach, the wary look in his eyes, and his nervous demeanor were palpable. He seemed to carry the weight of the mansion's secrets, the burden visible in his slumped shoulders. This first contact with him underscored the gravity of the information they were about to receive. As they sat down, the air was charged with tension. Mike started with a deep sigh as if unburdening himself of the mansion's dark past. His voice, though hesitant at first, grew stronger as he delved into the history he had been a part of. Jeff and Diana listened intently, the pieces of the puzzle beginning to form a clearer picture. Mike shared his connection to the mansion, carefully hinting at the illegal activities it once housed. His narrative was filled with caution, revealing enough to illustrate the gravity of the mansion's past without divulging too much too soon. The couple absorbed every word, the revelations reshaping their understanding of the home they had come to love. As Mike's story unfolded, the true depth of the mansion's secrets began to surface, darker and more complex than Jeff and Diana had imagined. Each detail added layers to the mystery, revealing a past intertwined with clandestine deeds and hidden truths. The couple listened, spellbound and uneasy, as the mansion they called home grew more enigmatic with every word. The more Mike revealed about the mansion's previous use, the more questions arose. Each revelation seemed to peel back a layer, only to uncover another, deeper mystery. Jeff and Diana were caught in a web of intrigue, where every answer led to further enigmas, leaving them to ponder the full extent of their home's storied past. Mike's narrative painted a vivid picture of a mansion at the heart of a complex web of illegal activities. With each story, the scale of secrecy and deception grew, hinting at the involvement of unknown figures and shadowy dealings. The mansion's walls, it seemed, had borne witness to more than just the passage of time. They hid a labyrinth of untold stories. With each detail Mike shared, the burden of the mansion's past grew heavier on Jeff and Diana. The realization that their dream home was steeped in a history of illicit activities weighed on them, casting a shadow over their initial joy. They grappled with the implications, wondering how this newfound knowledge would affect their lives and their future in the mansion. The meeting with Mike reached a pivotal moment, setting the stage for what was to come. The couple was now armed with knowledge of the mansion's hidden past, faced with decisions about how to proceed. This turning point marked a shift in their journey, as they contemplated their next steps in the light of the revelations, determined to forge a new path for their home. In the quiet aftermath of their meeting with Mike, Jeff and Diana stood in the shadowy confines of their home, the weight of its secrets pressing in around them. They needed to decide how to move forward, fully aware that each choice might alter their lives and the essence of the mansion they had grown to love. The path ahead was unclear, shrouded in the complexities of their home's hidden history. Contemplating their role in the mansion's future, Jeff and Diana weighed their options with heavy hearts. Could they simply ignore its past? Or was it their responsibility to address the shadows that lingered within its walls? They considered various approaches, from seeking legal advice to possibly leveraging the mansion's story in a way that could benefit the community and cleanse its tainted legacy. The knowledge of the mansion's illegal past had become a burden that Jeff and Diana could not easily shed. It hovered in every room, a silent reminder of the activities that had once taken place beneath its roof. They grappled with their emotions, anger, betrayal, sadness, wondering how to reconcile their dream of a peaceful home life with the reality of its dark history. Determined not to be defined by the mansion's past, Jeff and Diana began to formulate a plan. They brainstormed ways to address the legacy they had inherited, considering everything from renovating the mansion to repurposing its spaces for community use. The goal was clear: to transform the narrative of the mansion from one of secrecy and illegalities to one of renewal and hope. In a quiet moment, Jeff and Diana reflected on how the mansion's history had reshaped their perception of their dream home. What had once seemed like a lucky find now felt like a complex challenge. Yet, in facing the mansion's past head-on, they began to see a future where they could rewrite its story, turning a place of hidden shadows into a beacon of new beginnings. As the day of the meeting with Mike drew near, Jeff and Diana found themselves in a whirlwind of emotion. Anticipation for what might be revealed mingled with a deep-seated apprehension. They prepared themselves mentally and emotionally for any truths about their mansion, aware that the revelations could forever alter their connection to their home. A quiet prelude. The night before the meeting was restless for both Jeff and Diana. The mansion's usually comforting silence now echoed with the weight of their own uncertainties. They lay awake, minds racing with speculation about what secrets Mike might unveil, each creak and whisper of the house amplifying their growing unease. The drive to the secluded meeting spot was charged with a palpable tension. With each passing mile, Jeff and Diana's determination to uncover the secrets of their mansion battled with their growing sense of unease. The closer they got, the more the reality of what they were about to learn set in, turning their quest for truth into a journey of courage. Arriving early at the designated meeting place, Jeff and Diana waited with bated breath. The quiet before Mike's arrival was filled with a heavy sense of anticipation. They rehearsed questions in their minds, envisioning various scenarios of what the mansion's past might hold, each possibility fueling a mix of fear and the need to know. When Mike arrived, his tense and cautious demeanor was immediately apparent. The gravity of the information he was about to share cast a solemn shadow over the meeting. Initially, he skirted around the direct revelations, his hesitance hinting at the depth and possibly dark nature of the mansion's secrets, setting a tone of seriousness for the conversation to follow. Mike's revelation hit Jeff and Diana like a thunderbolt. Their mansion had been a hub for a large-scale illegal Bitcoin farm operated by the previous owners. The shock was palpable, their faces a mix of disbelief and concern. The home they had dreamed of was steeped in a history far removed from their innocent aspirations, a truth now laying bare before them. The weight of Mike's revelation sank in, ushering a wave of concern over the potential for legal trouble and the moral implications of their home's past. Jeff and Diana exchanged worried glances, pondering the extent to which this illicit history might cast a shadow over their future in the mansion. The joy of their new home was now tainted with the stain of its previous life. Seeking clarity, Jeff and Diana questioned Mike about the specifics, eager to understand the depth of the mansion's entanglement with illegal activities. How would this legacy affect their future here? Could there be lingering consequences? Their questions spilled out, seeking to grasp the full scope of what lay beneath the surface of their seemingly serene abode. Mike tried to offer reassurances, emphasizing their lack of involvement as a shield against potential legal repercussions. Yet, Jeff and Diana's relief was tempered by skepticism. Assurances aside, the uncertainty of unforeseen complications loomed large, casting a long shadow of doubt over their newfound sanctuary. The promise of a peaceful home life seemed increasingly fraught with complexities. With the initial shock beginning to subside, Jeff and Diana started to consider their path forward. The resolve to not be defined by the mansion's past strengthened their determination. Ideas began to take shape on how to redefine their home's narrative, transforming it from a symbol of illicit secrets to one of hope and new beginnings. The journey ahead was daunting, yet they felt ready to face it together. In the quiet of their library, Jeff and Diana sat together, the mansion around them feeling both familiar and foreign. They reflected on how the revelations about its past changed their relationship with it. What was once an undisputed dream home now felt like a puzzle, its pieces scattered with shadows of doubt and intrigue. Yet, within this complexity, they found a renewed sense of purpose. Determined to navigate the murky waters they found themselves in, Jeff and Diana sought the counsel of legal and real estate experts. These consultations offered clarity on their position and outlined the steps they could take to secure their future in the mansion. Armed with professional advice, they felt more equipped to confront the challenges ahead, each conversation a step towards resolution. Inspired by their love for the mansion and a desire to right the wrongs of its past, Jeff and Diana began to craft a vision for its transformation. They imagined it as a community asset, a place where the negative history could be repurposed for positive impact. Their plans included hosting events, opening parts of the mansion to the public, and using its history as a cautionary tale. Reaching out to the community, Jeff and Diana shared their vision for the mansion's future. To their surprise, they found a wellspring of support. Local organizations expressed interest in collaborating, and neighbors offered encouragement. The mansion's reputation began to shift from a place of secrecy to one of potential. This unexpected support bolstered their resolve to turn the mansion into a beacon of hope. With a clear path forward and the community behind them, Jeff and Diana looked to the future with renewed hope. The mansion, once a symbol of hidden pasts and illicit secrets, was on its way to becoming a beloved home again. Together, they were ready to redefine its legacy, not as a relic of its past, but as a testament to resilience and transformation. Do you like this touching and surprising story? If so, we invite you to leave us a comment expressing your opinion. If you want to continue enjoying inspiring stories like this one, subscribe to our channel or check out the other videos shown at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for your cooperation,